Good evening, everyone. I'm Kubrali, and you're watching Awaz News. Tonight, I'll be taking you to top news across Canada. Female pedestrian seriously injured after struck by vehicle in Oakwood Village. Cyclist transported to hospital with serious injuries following collision in the Toronto's East End. Mayoral candidate Anthony Furey lashes out over taxpayer-funded crack pipes. Hamilton police identify engaged couple killed in Stony Creek shooting. Mississauga mayor wants to change O Canada lyrics. Woman who allegedly fled country after fatal shooting in Stony Creek arrested for breaching bail conditions, policing. York Catholic District School Board votes against flying the Pride flag in June. These were the headlines, and now let's go through the details. The Pride Progress flag will not be flying next month outside the York Catholic Education Centre. After several months of at times raucous meetings and presentations on the topic, trustees with the York Catholic District School Board voted 6-4 against flying the rainbow flag outside its building in the Aurora during the month of June. The motion after the recorded vote, the motion is defeated, Chair Frank Alexander said Monday night, moments after the votes were tallied during the board's monthly meeting. A few people in the packed boardroom loudly expressed their disappointment with the outcome. Alexander, who voted against the motion, ordered those individuals removed. He then called a 5-minute break. The motion, which wasn't heard until nearly the end of the meeting, was tabled by student trustees Anthea Pita Dragos and Jonna James. It really is unfortunate that the voice of students was not heard by the majority of the trustees. It is extremely disheartening, but again, we will continue to fight, James said, Awaz News following the meeting. Students are strong fighters and we will continue to be there to represent them. On Monday, the board said that a number of other steps are also being taken to ensure civility, including a requirement that those attending sign in and produce government-issued photo ID that confirms their provided information. Attendees were also given a letter during sign-in outlining the expectations of conduct and the consequences of not living up to them, the board noted in a series of tweets. A man has been transported to hospital with serious injuries following a collision near the intersection of Finch Avenue East and Pharmacy Avenue. Police say they received the call for a collision between a vehicle and cyclist just before 2:10 p.m. on Tuesday. The driver remained on the scene while the cyclist was brought to the hospital via emergency run. His injuries are described as serious but not life-threatening injuries. No further information on the victim's condition is available at this time. Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie hopes the city will support calling on the federal government to change the lyrics of O Canada. In February, Canadian R&B singer Julie Black performed the national anthem at an NBA All-Star game in Salt Lake City, Utah. During the performance, she swapped out one word for another, altering the lyrics from "Our home and native land" to "Our home on native land." The new lyric drew a largely positive reaction on social media as well as some criticism. Black was later honored at an AFN Special Chiefs Assembly in Ottawa for the decision. At Wednesday's City Council meeting, Mississauga representatives will vote on whether they support a permanent lyric change based on the performance, which Crombie, who proposed the motion, described as an act of reconciliation and speaking of the truth. The single word change had a ripple effect across the country. The motion reads and was hailed by Indigenous people across Canada. If passed, the city will write a letter to federal government to formally adopt the lyric change to reflect the spirit and intent of the treaties which allowed for the creation of the city of Mississauga and all of Canada. The letter will also be shared with Ontario big city mayors. In 2018, the federal government changed the lyrics to O Canada so that it was gender neutral. Instead of "In all thy sons command," the English version of the anthem now reads "In all of us command." Hamilton police have identified the couple allegedly shot and killed by their landlord at their Stony Creek residence last weekend. On Tuesday, police said 27-year-old Carissa McDonald of Stony Creek and 28-year-old Aaron Stone of Hamilton were the victims of the May 27th shooting, which allegedly stemmed from a dispute with their landlord. McDonald and Stone were fatally shot outside as they were fleeing the home in the area of Jones Road and Barton Street, police said. The families of both victims are requesting privacy at this time, Hamilton police said in a release on Tuesday. Few details have been released about the alleged dispute between the landlord and the couple who lived in the residence basement, but police had said that the victims were truly innocent. MacDonald was an education assistant for the Catholic School Board in Brant County, while Stone was an electrician in Hamilton. Meanwhile, the landlord, a 57-year-old man, was fatally shot by police during an exchange of gunfire, concluding an hours-long standoff on Saturday evening that began after he barricaded himself inside the home. Police and the Special Investigations Unit have not released the man's name. The SIU said the family requested that he not be identified. However, property records obtained by CTV News Toronto reveal the home has been owned by Terry Brecka since 2003. A family member on Monday in Brecka was a steel worker who was estranged from some relatives and wasn't known to have guns. A postmortem examination was conducted on the man on Tuesday, the SIU said in an update. The agency, which is investigating the interaction between the man and Hamilton police, also said that investigators had collected firearms and one police-issued firearm from the home. All 6 firearms will be sent to the Center of Forensic Sciences for examination. Investigators also retrieved video footage, the SIU said, adding that the scene is still being held. Toronto mayoral candidate Anthony Furey lashed out at the city Tuesday over its distribution of safe drug consumption kits, alleging that taxpayer-funded crack pipes are being distributed at shelters. I think most residents and taxpayers would be alarmed to hear just what's really going on with the drug culture being pushed by the City Hall, Furey told reporters at a morning news conference. He said a whistleblower told him that kits for smoking meth and crack are now being distributed at shelters across the city. This is not going to continue under my watch, Furey said. This is ridiculous. He acknowledged that it is not new for the city to distribute safe materials for drug consumption, but said the kits at shelters are new. While the city did not specifically respond to Furey's claims about the shelters, Toronto Public Health did tell Awaz News in a statement that the kits are distributed thoughtfully in a way that aims to mitigate the spread of disease and other harms associated with consuming drugs with unsafe equipment. Furey made his announcement near The Works, a city-run harm reduction site near Yonge Dundas Square that offers a comprehensive program of services including referrals to counseling to mitigate drug-related harm, according to the city. The agency clarified that while the kits have a city logo on the sticker on the outside, the pipes themselves are not branded in any way. TPH also said that funding for the sterile pipes comes from the provincial government through a partnership with the city. Furey said that while Toronto should be a compassionate city, the emphasis should be on treatment rather than facilitating safe use. The opioid crisis has come up in the election campaign before. The city has been moving towards an approach to drug use which aims to treat it as a health condition rather than as criminal behavior. Earlier this year, TPH applied for an exemption to decriminalize drugs for personal use in Toronto as part of an evidence-based public health approach to drug use. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Until then, good night.